Finland was announced as a race destination for the Ironman 70.3 World Championship, I knew that I wanted to try to qualify because I wanted to go race in Finland and experience that country and the world in that manner.
Long travel. It was probably about 24 hours total from our doorstep to our Airbnb doorstep.
Katie and I got to the Airbnb a little after lunchtime. Cait and Tiff got there in the evening, and it was really cool to see them pull up, be able to give them both a hug, and know that we'd all made it. We hadn't gotten our bikes yet, so there were still, a couple things left to do.
First day in Lahti, the first thing we did was we had to get to the car rental place. We had a taxi pick us up from our Airbnb and take us back down to city center. Had a little difficulty finding the car rental, but it was quite the experience. Question, good morning. Where is the car rental place?
Here.
Here.
Oh, okay. Now it's here.
Yes. Shortest car rental experience ever. Short, sweet, to the point. Here's the car, here are the keys. Drop it off here, put the keys here, and that was it. It was great.
We talked a lot about not having expectations, not knowing what to expect, having no idea what we were getting ourselves into when it came to traveling to Finland. And I think in some ways that was actually a good thing because just about every experience we had was pretty much a really pleasant surprise. Finland is spectacularly beautiful, which you would imagine, of course, but all of the lakes, all of the bright colors, the flowers, the foliage, the greenery, the fresh fruit in the front yard, and the birch trees lining the bike course and throughout the country. It is absolutely breathtaking and serene at the same time.
There were so many memorable moments that we had during our entire trip in Lahti. One of the first ones was when we visited the sports center and we walked up to the ski slopes. And yeah, we've seen pictures of it online on social media, but seeing it in person, it really makes your jaw drop and it just kind of puts you in awe.
Another really cool moment for me was meeting in person someone that I actually met in St. George in the SAG truck after DNFing the 70.3 World Championship in 2021. So after my bike broke down in St. George, I waited 2 hours for the SAG truck. The SAG truck came, I got in, there was a gentleman in the back seat. We chatted a little bit, never really made too much eye contact because of course we both DNF'd. Well, he found us through YouTube and social media. We've stayed in contact over the years, and just so happened that he was in Lahti doing the World Championship as well, and he tracked us down on a side street as we were finishing up our day at Ironman Village, and we got to have a really nice in-person conversation on much better terms than the first time. And happy to note that David and I both finished the Ironman 70.3 World Championship in Lahti 2 years after we shared a DNF experience.
One of the perks to social media is you get to connect with so many people around the world. But it's races like this that you actually get to meet in real life. And it was so surreal meeting so many of y'all that we have only known through social media that live in dozens of different countries from around the world. And that was probably the most surreal moments, when meeting y'all, coming up to us and saying, hey, Team Saunders, and we finally got to connect in person. It just kind of puts it all together and makes it feel so much more real. You can't go to an Ironman race without spending half your paycheck in merch. And I have to say, this is probably the best merch we bought right here. A couple days later, we ran into Taylor Nibb, and thank you, Taylor, for taking a second to sign my hat.
Some of the favorite non-race moments that stand out to me, first and foremost, was DJ running his first 5K. He is always such a good sport, and we had talked about it, we joked about it. He didn't train for it, but he was totally game to do it in his worn down Converse shoes, if you could even call them that at this point. And he had a really good time, took the camera with him, gave some nice commentary along the way.
I see the stadium from afar. We're kind of getting out of the woods now. And I think it's actually all downhill from here, which I'm very grateful for.
I'm looking for a bright orange top. Come on, DJ, come on. Let's go, let's go.
Even though we had a good time laughing at his expense, you know, he crossed that finish line, he was smiling, and you know, I think it gives him a little bit more of an appreciation of what we do. I know he understands what we do, but that was pretty cool to see him struggling just a little bit. Of course, I can't not talk about the race itself. It was harder than we all expected, but of course it's a world championship, so it's not gonna be a walk in the park, and I'm kind of glad for that. Even though my time on paper was slower than I wish I had done, still, it's an accomplishment. And from what I fought back from the last couple of years, to be able to cross that finish line, again, I did not take it for granted. I soaked it all in. I enjoyed every single bit of the course. And we've raced on some nice courses before, but there's never a course that we've done that I think I've thought the entire way, this is beautiful, this is perfect, this is amazing. Of course, the bike could have been a little less hilly, the run could have been a little less hilly, but at the moment, I didn't really care so much because there was so much beauty and nature surrounding us.
Tiffany and I, we had our day, but we couldn't wait to get to Sunday to cheer on Colin for his day.
Being able to see it from an outsider's perspective, looking at Colin, taking it in as a first timer. I remember when we went to South Africa and did our first world championship race, everything was just so new and amazing and unexpected, and we were just surprised at all of the pomp and circumstance along the way. And I don't want to say that we are immune to that anymore, because there were certainly times during the trip that, you know, getting the coin, seeing our names on the wall took our breath away. But I think for Colin, as the first time, and seeing the emotions that he had and seeing him really taking it in and just realizing the magnitude of what he was about to go do, that was really cool. And to support him, not just on race day, but the entire week, and try to be a support system for him and answer his questions, I was really grateful that we were able to share those moments.
To see how he has progressed this entire season is just mind-blowing, and that we had a first row seat to witness his incredible day was one of the best experiences of the trip. Right up there with our own race, it just brings so much joy to us to see others succeed so well in this sport.
I was on the rail watching the finish line, and I saw him come around, and I could see his face just instantly change when he got his first eyes on the finish chute, on the finish line. And I couldn't help but feel my own emotions for him, knowing that he's overcome so much as well in the time that we've known him and in the last year. And to see him from being a timid, conservative, just want to go sub 6 kind of guy to I can do a PR today kind of guy, and I did a PR. That's pretty cool, and that's something very special about this sport. There's so much energy and supporting one another, friends and strangers, because you all want to see each other succeed. I guess no matter where you go around the world, banquet food just isn't quite the best.
Until I went to Finland, I had no idea that McDonald's had different menu.
Everything in Lahti was top notch. The banquet food maybe just wasn't our cup of tea. So these Americans broke down, and there happened to be a 24-hour McDonald's on the route back to our Airbnb.
Mickey D's not a place that I frequent very much here in Nashville, but when I'm in Lahti, we went 3 times in I think 4 days.
We made a few stops into the local McDonald's.
Let me tell you, the pepper fries that they have at the McDonald's over there, that's like a whole reason to go back.
We tried some new things, and discovered that McDonald's in Finland is actually pretty good, a lot more fresh than you can get here in the States. And we all agreed, all 5 of us agreed, that the best thing on the menu that you can't get here in the States, but maybe you should, are pepper fries. They're like thick cut fries with some cracked pepper on them, and so simple yet so amazing. One of the memorable moments of our trip, McDonald's in Finland.
There's obviously lots of other reasons that Finland is wonderful and awesome, and I would love to go back. But if and when I do, I'm going back to McDonald's because those pepper fries are elite.
One of the most non-race favorite memories of the trip was after the awards banquet. It was late, we had an early flight, we hadn't done any packing, so really all we wanted to do was get back to the Airbnb, pack, and get to bed. But there was one thing that I forgot to do that I do at all of these trips that we go on. I wanted to collect some sand from the beach that we swam from. In the pitch black dark, after the awards banquet, we went and we harvested sand. We cannot leave these events without having some sand as a keepsake.
All in all, I have to say, if you ever get a chance to race internationally or to do an international world championship race, take it. It will take you places that maybe you never dreamed of. It will open your eyes to racing among others from many different countries and meeting new people and just exploring the world doing something that you love.
We hadn't even gotten home yet, and my brain was already starting to think about 2024. How do I qualify for Worlds again? It's in New Zealand. What are the dates? What are the races I should go try to sign up for to find another slot? It's such a funny sport. The more you race, the more you want to keep racing. And it validates all those cold, dark mornings in the winter and those blazing hot runs in the humidity during the summer.
Now, we've already been asked so many times what our plans are for 2024, with the World Championship being in New Zealand and New Zealand being on the bucket list. And all I have to say for that is stay tuned.